So I got a great text message today, basically saying, "Hey Peter, this horse at 2:15 or whenever it was, I think it was 2:15, is going to win. Lump your money on." And I'm doing this because I've been a professional gambler for 30 years and I know what I'm talking about. Check it out. So I thought, well, that sounds good. Or does it? There's a scam that you need to be aware of where you will receive these messages out of the blue, and that's what I'm going to explain how that scam works in this video. Click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get instant notification of new videos as they're released. So let me illustrate to you with the purposes or with the benefit of this whiteboard exactly how this scam works. And it's actually quite a clever scam because what it does is it relies upon people not knowing what the scam is going on with other people. And what the person will do to start with is they will target a very broad base of people. So let's say that our scammer goes out and he has a mailing list or a text list or email or any sort of list. Let's say he targets the highest number of people. So let's say he has a list of 16,384 people that he sends his first message to. What he does is he goes out, he splits the list in half, and to one side of the list he will say, here's a back bet, and to the other side of the list he will say, here's a lay bet. Now one of these has to win. Whatever his selection is, one of these will win, because obviously if the back doesn't win then the lay wins, and if the lay doesn't win then the back will win. So the advantage that he's got is the scammer will definitely win. But what will happen is he will send out a message to his list saying, back this horse, back this selection, or lay this horse, lay this selection. And he'll send half the recommendation to half the list, half to the other. So one of these selections will win. So the net effect is, let's say that the backside wins and they land a good gamble or something, then 8,192 people would have received a successful tip. Now, the others wouldn't have received a successful tip and they may drop out of the equation at that point. Now, it's possible that a few more will hang on, being the hopeless eternal optimists that they are, and so that number may not actually be zero. But after the first iteration, basically his mailing list has effectively shrunk from 16,384, 8,192, which is half basically of that number. So half that list have got a successful selection. So they're eagerly waiting for the next message to come along saying, tomorrow we will do the following. So of course the list splits again. So half of them will be a back bet, half of them will be a lay bet. But basically after that next iteration, then there'll be 4,000 and, let me get this right, 96 people will have got the first selection, the second selection and the third selection correct. And if we go in and we do that list again, then obviously some of those will have got that wrong. And then the list halves again. If he picks another selection that's at an even shot or something like that, then basically 1, 2, 3, 4 successful predictions they would have made at this particular point in time. So if he does it again, he'd have 1,024 people left, and these people would have dropped out. And if he does it again, then there'd be 512 people left in the list, and that group would have dropped out. So okay, he's thinned out his target base. 16,384 people originally got the first selection, which, hey, he got right. So they thought, well, it's rubbish. I've seen these all the time. It doesn't last very long. So they wait for the next one, and hey, presto, he gets it right again. Amazing. And they're thinking, well, probably just a fluke. We'll wait for the next one. But of course, 4,096 people get the correct selection again. And at this point, they're thinking, well, okay, there is something going on here. So they go out and they have a sneaky back on the next selection, of which 2,048 people would have got it. So by now they are at fever pitch. They want to know what the next selection is. And that is when the scammer will drop his bomb. He will say, okay, I've given you all of these tips successfully already, ignoring, of course, the people who didn't get them, which are now no longer on the mailing list and don't receive any more tips. He can then go to them and say, if you want another tip, I want 100 quid or something like that. So we've got 1,024 people that have received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successful tips. How much is he going to charge them? Well, if he charges them £100, if we do 1,024, I'm just seeing if we've got enough room here, 1,024, and we add a couple of zeros on the end of that, you can see that there's a lot of money to be had at that particular point in time. So 1,024 people, 100 quid, if he could pull that off, then the scammer would get £100,000 off of people who've effectively received random tips. Maybe he can't pull it off, or maybe he charges them 200 quid, or maybe he says, well, I'll tell you what I'll do once more is before you sign up, just to guarantee that you're definitely signing up to a legitimate service here, I'll give you one more tip. If that comes in, I want you to pay me 200 quid. If it doesn't come in, you don't have to pay me anything. So of course, drops down to the next level, at which point his 16,384, I don't know why I keep saying 1,000, 16,384 people have dwindled to 512. But he can charge these people a fortune, because not only did he get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tips correctly, that last one, he said to them, well, I'll tell you what, to be an absolute clincher, I'm going to do another one for you if you don't believe me. So the way that this scam works effectively, huge mailing list at the very, very top. Mailing list is split and they're given opposite selections so that he knows that one of them will win. And the reason that he's doing that is that the price can, the number of selections rather, or the number of targets that he has drops every time he gets it wrong. But if you start with a big enough mailing list, you end up with a big enough one at the end. And these people think you've successfully got these selections correct, when in fact it was just completely random. All that's happened is the people that lost money have dropped off of the list, and you're just a lucky survivor. But you're unlucky, because what this person will do is try and charge you a fortune for something that's effectively random, that contains no skill whatsoever, or they will really dupe you in severely when you get to this lower level and charge you an absolute fortune for the next tip, which probably will fail. But of course, maybe he'll get it right, in which case he'll come back again to the remaining group and ask for more money. It's actually quite a clever scheme, if it wasn't so tedious. And you see these reappearing regularly over time. I've seen it in trading circles, in gambling circles, stock market, all of these, and it just works through numbers basically. Because if you think about it, what's the chance of getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row? Pretty rare, really. So if you do 2 to the power of 6, you're going to get quite a large number. In fact, it goes backwards in this direction. So if you're on the recipient of this, it looks so genuine, because how on earth could you get 6 in a row correct, one after the other? But the fact is, it is completely random, and it just happens that you're on the right side of this list. And you won't get any more emails if you're on the other side of the list, because you're not a prime target to get completely fleeced. So you got away with it. You'd be lucky then. So yeah, watch out for this. This is something that's done the rounds for as many years as I can remember, 30 odd years. And it's still doing the rounds now. And as this text message, I'm not saying that that message was particularly this scam, you know, maybe it wasn't. But I'm guessing that it probably was. So I'm going to wait and look forward to see what text I get tomorrow, because the selection lost today. So I don't think I'm going to get one. But I just thought I'd share that with you. It's an old trick that's been doing the rounds for many, many years. And I thought it was something that was worth explaining to you. If you're interested in learning more about BetAngel, its tools and the opportunities they present, then why not visit betangel.com today and download a free trial.